Erin, thank you so much for allowing me to record today. Today, we're talking about your progress and trying to determine if the markers that we're finding in your progress are problem markers, are opportunity markers, are just are what they are. And so you just shared something. I'm unfortunately going to ask you to share it again about what your primary goals are right now. And when you are manifested in your primary goals, what does this look like? So what are we working toward? Please share.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I really just want to feel strong and capable in anything that I want to tackle. And the bonus would be also looking strong and toned and fit, and feeling rested, feeling energetic, and just kind of overall healthy and either body positive or body neutral. Um, that's the crux of what my long-term goal is. Yeah.
Okay. Feeling strong, looking strong, tone, muscular development, and overall having a positive or neutral attitude to your body. One of the things that you mentioned before we started recording was I'm not sure if that correlates to a specific number on the scale.
Hmm. Correct.
Please share more.
Yeah. So I know that um, I know that muscle mass weighs more, and so to expect my weight to stay, at whatever ideal I have, 125-ish, that sort of thing, may not be reasonable because if I'm adding muscle, that's going to manifest in an increase in scale, and that's fine, as long as it's for me, it's the determining whether that the increase in scale is reflective of muscle growth or whether it's fat growth or something else or water or all the other things. But like
Mm-hmm.
it's just that ambiguity of like not necessarily being able to rely on the scale number to be a good indicator of, oh yes, I'm doing good and I am getting stronger, or oh, I've slipped a little bit and I need to kind of pause and reflect, on maybe like my nutrition or my activity level or whatever. So I just don't. It's that slight ambiguity of like the scale is not a good indicator of your of maybe achieving your goal or being successful.
Yeah, 1000%. Okay. So then I think that's where we start, right? So let's start with the goal. Goal. Can you see my whiteboard, by the way?
Can, yes.
Okay. And then we have, can I take like an additional 15 minutes from you? Do you have 15 minutes today?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. Goal, strength, and aesthetics. I hope y'all can read cursive. Did you see, did you see there's this video circulating about like they put the kids in an escape room, give them a rotary phone
Oh, I haven't.
and write the
That sounds
instructions in
amazing.
cursive. Yeah, it's funny.
That's
Okay.
amazing.
So overall strength, aesthetics, and then overall just like positivity around body recovery, performance, fill in the blank. Okay. So how do we measure success toward this? We could potentially measure success with the scale, but as you're coming to realize, the scale is not going to tell us how strong we are, right? And the scale also isn't going to help us determine our emotional relation to our bodies. So in our case, how else are you defining your success, right? How else are you looking at your process, at your journey, and defining what's making you successful?
I think it is partly just me viewing myself when I see my reflection or how clothes fit or whatever, like seeing the muscle tone, fitting into pants that I haven't in a while, etc. But it's also when other people comment, which is always nice, external feedback. Um, and it's those life moments where I realize, like, oh, this thing that I couldn't do before, I can do now, or it's easier. Those tend to be the moments where I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. Like, I've done it or I'm doing it. This is working. I feel good about this.
Yep. So Mirror, clothes, external commentary, being in real life situations where you see your body performing with strength, right?
Hmm.
All of those things kind of making you feel more positive about your body and what it can do, right? Also, in general, making you feel more positive about your aesthetics, right? The way that your body looks. I think we've had a number of conversations where we're looking at your progress photos and we're like, oh, crap. Right? Like, look at this new muscle development. Look at this new tone. Look at how this is starting to change. This is starting to shift. I think that's really important to hold on to. And I think it actually is at this point in your journey really important to maybe even eliminate entirely any focus for now on what the scale is doing. Like,
Hmm.
just don't even worry about what the scale is doing. If your clothes still fit, if you're getting better and stronger, if you're feeling good and you're liking what you see, in general, you're heading in the right direction, right?
Hmm.
And I think that's important to hold on to because obviously in this fitness realm, especially like internet fitness realm, there's a whole bunch of intensity around your weight. However, when we think about our weight tied to our performance, the only people who have to weigh a certain number to perform tomorrow get paid for it,
Hmm.
right? Like they get paid to sit in a sauna all day today so that they can weigh 125 pounds tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So I think this brings me to my next point, which is like as we're making these priorities here, sorry, to remake this whiteboard. As we're making our fitness and health priorities, it's important to start categorizing these things, put them in three different categories. Okay. At each pinnacle here, we have the maximum amount of the following three categories. You can have maximum strength here at the top. You can have maximum aesthetics, right? And then you can have maximum health. Okay. For most people, we just kind of want to be pretty good in every category, right? I want to be relatively stronger than I have in the past. I want to feel relatively better about my body. And in general, I want to stay outside of my doctor's office. Most people want to fall right here in the middle. Okay. Sometimes we might find ourselves like over here a little bit, where I want to be maybe more aesthetic or more strong, right? But as we're moving the needle, you realize that we're getting further away from a different category. Okay.
Hmm.
In this case, too, hold on, let me go back. Perfect. As we want to be more strong, same idea. We might be moving away from more aesthetic. So let's put this into real terms here.
Hmm.
Maximum strength. You might be a sumo.
Hmm.
You might be a strong man or strong woman, right? Have you seen those competitions before?
I've seen, I know of them and I've seen similar ones.
Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
perfect. Strong man, strong woman. Or just to be completely honest, you might be on drugs.
Hmm.
Okay. If we go maximum aesthetics, automatically we're probably thinking about fitness models,
Hmm.
which also includes bodybuilders.
Right.
Okay. And then if we're thinking maximum health, I have a number of clients who are in their 70s, right? These people just want to be able to walk up and down the stairs, right? Functionality. These people want to be able to play with their grandkids. These people want to be off of metformin, right? They just want to stay out of their doctor's office in general. Okay.
Hmm.
Maximal health. I just want you to put general population in maximal health. Okay.
Hmm.
So if we are pursuing a maximally aesthetic goal, a bodybuilder who weighs 115 pounds on stage day is not strong nor healthy,
Right.
right? So in our case, I want us to kind of visualize all of these categories and determine what we're willing to sacrifice in the name of something else. But
Right.
we also have to ask ourselves, like, is the sacrifice a requirement for what we're doing, right? Do we have to do we have to make these sacrifices in order to be as strong as possible, as aesthetic as possible, and as healthy as possible? Oh,
Yeah.
no. So what's this making you think?
It's making me put myself in that triangle in a certain place.
Okay. Where
So
would you put yourself?
definitely more on the like strength health side of the triangle.
Like right here?
Um, yeah, I
Okay.
do like the gratification of being like, yes, like I can see I'm progressing in the weight amount that I'm lifting and whatever. Like that feels cool. Um, so I won't lie and say that doesn't matter to me, but the like the health is the it was the underlying reason for starting this and still remains like the future, like the goal that will best help me in the future. So like yeah, health and strength are kind of they're battling it out a little bit there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at this point, maybe we can call this like most most important is health.
Mm-hmm.
Next in line, maybe 50% strength, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe 40% aesthetics, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as we're getting healthier, we're resistance training, we're getting stronger, the aesthetics are going to follow.
Right. Yeah.
So okay, very cool. So then
Yeah.
I think what comes after that is just being honest about that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Is like, okay, taking all this to account, how do I actually feel about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to fully turn off the aesthetics. And so like knowing that it will be a byproduct of, you know, focusing on strength and health and whatever, like that just kind of coming like being okay with that and letting that be enough sort of thing
Mm-hmm.
rather than focusing too much on like, oh, okay, how am I gonna look in the bikini or blah blah blah, you know, that kind of thing. I think it'll just be a task to reframe and kind of relearn the things that we've been told and just be like, no, okay, the reality is that'll be a happy byproduct if you want it to be and you're doing these other things toward your true goals that you say you want. And maybe I'll reflect on them and realize I'm full of shit. But um I either they are my goals or I want them to be my goals. Like because those are the ones that I know will serve me best.
Mm-hmm.
And that and like looking to the future, like now in the future, like
Mm-hmm.
I know that is my goal. Like my ultimate
Yep.
goal is to be functional when I'm old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, and knowing that those work towards that and just reminding myself, yeah, these are the ones that are going to get you there, stay the course, and anything else that happens, great. But that's not your focus. So
Yeah.
don't worry about the things that maybe aren't showing progress in that side or success
Yep.
in that part sort of thing.
Yep.
So yeah, I think ultimately for me, like it's just when it comes down to the scale, it's it's not so much like, oh no, I'm up. It's more the worry of like, oh shoot, like am I are my habits wrong or am I doing something
Am I
wrong
going beyond?
that I need to nip in the bud now because I don't want to go too far and have to work that much harder to get back
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just more just not necessarily the knowing and the recognizing
Yes.
the difference kind of thing or whatever. And that's just going to take learning and time and education and just trust and like you
Mm-hmm.
know try things, stay the course, be consistent,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's still not working, then maybe, yes, reflect on all of those things and talk to you and figure it out and then adjust and then do that again. And then like, then I'll figure it out sort of thing. But yeah.
Yes. But
Oh,
let me
no.
let me contradict everything I just said and finally put like a period on this, right?
All right.
Here's what we're doing, Erin. We're pursuing each of these goals to the maximum amount of intensity that we have for
Mm-hmm.
that season.
Mm.
We are focusing on blasting your strength. In another season, we'll focus on blasting your aesthetics.
Right.
In another season, we'll focus on taking that and turning it into a lifestyle functional maintenance of how to keep it all, right?
Right.
For the long-term objective of falling smack dab in the middle of the triangle. We'll vacillate around the triangle to finally get to a point where we can keep it all. So right now, we are currently in a season where we're trying to progress your muscular development, right?
Hmm.
We started with a focus on your aesthetics. We said, hey, we're going to try to just move this scale right now. Right now, we're just going to try to drop some body fat, right? A focus on the aesthetics because the pendulum swing of metabolically putting your body into a position to want to add
Right.
more tissue after a fat loss phase. Your body is going to want to put on more tissue once we're done with this. And that's how we build muscle.
Right. Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
we pendulum swing you to strength, right? We pendulum swing you to muscle development. And then after we're done with this, maybe in the season we are now, focusing on, okay, what does lifestyle maintenance look like right now in this
Hmm.
128-ish range with this current of level of body fat, with this current level of muscularity? What does keeping this look like? Right. And once we've reached the end, right, we get to a point where maybe over a month, nothing's happened. You're not getting stronger. Your workouts are getting more difficult. You're losing a little bit of sleep. Your clothes are tightening up a little bit. We say, okay, cool. Time to swing the pendulum back to the other side of the triangle, where
Okay.
now we actually are focusing on your aesthetics, maybe not so much scale, right? Scale is associated with aesthetics, but when we think about aesthetics, we
Hmm.
want to think mirror more than scale, okay?
Hmm.
Where we're focused on your aesthetics primarily by dropping body fat. But here's the thing
Right.
about dropping body fat. Dropping body fat is also good for your health.
Yeah.
So we're doing all of these things, right? We're doing all of these things. We're never, I don't think you need to I don't think you need to accept and kind of just take, man, I guess I'll never. Well, no, like we're still working toward it. We're gonna try to
Right. Yeah.
max it out as much as we can, but when the time is right, right? When the season is appropriate to maximize that as much as we can.
Yeah. That's cool. I think that's a key there that I didn't that I've never really factored in because I've been working towards, with the exception of like working towards strength in this last kind of few
Hmm.
months kind of thing. I've been working towards this one goal and doing this one thing and thinking, okay, when I get there, that is like I have to like the path is this rather
Hmm.
than like this pendulum sort of thing.
Hmm.
And so I think that might help unlock things for me or
Hmm.
like settle with some things like, oh, okay, yeah, don't worry about being the same forever because it's not going to be and you don't want it to be.
You don't want to be.
And that's what I have you for. You can tell me when it's time to flip
Yes.
flip the season.
When it's time to flip the switch. Yep.
Yeah.
So the question right now being, okay, for my maintenance phase, do I like what I'm doing? In general, am I relatively okay in terms of my hunger to fullness signaling? That's like the most
Hmm.
straightforward way. Obviously, we
Right.
have the food tracking, we have the calories and macros, like we have what the paper says, but then
Hmm.
we have how our bodies feel about it, right? When we're in a maintenance phase, we should probably always just be okay when it comes to our
Right.
food. Like we should probably, when it's time to eat, like I'm ready to eat, but I'm never ravenous like I would be in a fat loss phase, right?
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
probably also never like, oh, sick to my stomach full where I have to unbutton my pants in a maintenance phase either. If I'm
Right.
frequently getting to a point where I'm unbuckle my pants, like gotta lay down, need to sit for a second full, I can almost guarantee that I'm on the other side of maintenance, right?
Right.
Just
Yeah.
based on the way that it feels. So in a maintenance phase, be ready to eat. Once you're done eating, be no longer hungry or be like full when you're finished eating.
Hmm.
In a fat loss phase, ratchet that down. Be
Yeah.
hungry. Stomach is growling, right? Once you're done, be no longer physically hungry.
Right.
In a weight gain phase, phase three, on this side, be like not even hungry when you eat again. I'm just eating for the sake of eating. And then when I'm done eating, poof, have to unbutton my pants,
Right.
right? That's
Yeah.
the way that these seasons feel. And like we said, we're vacillating, waving through all of these different seasons. And I think when we talk about seasons, I think we wave through the seasons as our literal physical seasons change, right?
Hmm.
It makes a ton of sense to spend the winter months focused on growing. You're inside, you're eating more, you're not as active, there's not as much social stuff. Like spend the winter months growing muscle. However,
Hmm.
we're coming into a season before the winter months where it's also a great time to do another mini cut, right? Now is a
Yeah.
great time to work on the aesthetics. Then winter months, work on the strength again. January,
Hmm.
work on the aesthetics. Spring, hold, right?
Hmm.
Maintain it. So we do this throughout the year. And
Cool.
hopefully that's relieving.
Yes. Yeah, it is
Okay. Good, good,
for
good.
sure.
Long way to get there, but
Yeah.
hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
Did you